Hey guys, it's Coach Shoni. Welcome back to the channel. If you have not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on the notifications so you can always see what I'm doing next. Over here, I'm a spiritual life coach. I'm a certified relationship coach. I'm a mom, entrepreneur, you name it. So I'm walking in my purpose this lifetime. I've been an entrepreneur for over 2 years now after leaving corporate for 16 years. Prior to that, college, all the things they told us to go do and marriage and all of that. Now I'm single, okay? So I've lived a little. So you come to this channel, you can expect all things shiny, not just, coaching, but just share my life with you guys so you can see what it looks like to walk in purpose and be a normal person. I think it's important for me to show people that because I ran from my calling for over 20 years. And I believe that was the path I was supposed to take, so that I can understand how people feel when I help them through their spiritual awakening. So, if you've made it to this channel right now, it's absolutely because you're awakening and you can feel it. And so, somebody like me is a guide on this planet that will help you through that process. And so, you've made it to the right place. So if you've been praying for help, it's a good chance that that's why you've come across my path. So I've got my email in the description there, TheCoachShoni, SHONI, at gmail.com. So a little bit about me. I was raised in the church. My grandfather was a pastor. So my one side of my family was super religious, the other side, not so much. And as I got older, I kind of ventured away from it a little bit. The past 4 years I had lived in Dallas, but I've been back in my hometown of St. Louis recently, just kind of passing through before I go on to my next. um, Spirit sent me to Dallas for my spiritual awakening. Sometimes you got to go away from your home in order to wake up to who you are and what you're called to do. And so tonight, Spirit just put it on my heart to come here and talk to you who I channel messages. I read energy. Sometimes I use whatever tools I have available, I can read them, right? I just read energy and everything. So I'm a natural healer. So people are drawn to me. And you probably can relate to that, being an empath, a healer, um, a reader, just getting premonitions and all those things, having dreams. So that's all a part of your awakening to show you who you are and what you're capable of doing. So you'll have situations and scenarios where spirit is showing you those things. You're like, where did that come from? How did I know this? Or somebody will come back and tell you what you said was like, how did you know? Like, how did you know? You just don't know. You just channel that message directly from spirit at that moment. And so, I believe I'm here for the people who absolutely have a foundation in the church or, might have identified as Christian at one point, and now you're on your spiritual journey and you don't feel as much Christian as you used to. Now you feel more spiritual, but you absolutely can attribute your awakening to having that Christian, church going foundation. So I absolutely recommend it for some people. You got to start somewhere and have something to compare it to your spiritual journey. So when you feel you identify as spiritual versus religious, then you'll know why, right? You came up through the church, you saw what that was about, you learned about God in that way. Um, you learned about the environment as well. So the good, the bad, the ugly, right? Then there's the good, the bad, the ugly of spirituality and Islam and Buddhism and all those things, right? There's two sides to every coin. So you're here now. You're on your spiritual journey. All these things are happening to you. You're seeing things, you're hearing things, you're smelling, feeling, you're attracting, you're having dreams, you're having premonitions, and you don't know what to do with all that. So I'm the person that you come to, and that's why you're here. And I attract very few because you are a light in a dark place. So you will feel like there's no one you can relate to that's around you. I'm that person that has gone through that journey, the fool's journey to waking up to your purpose and what you're called to do, that has lived through those things. And I can absolutely relate to that experience because I had no one to talk to. I would go to someone about all the dreams I was having in my 20s before I got married at 21. was I 25 or 26 back in 2008. And I was having a bunch of dreams. I ignored some of them. They were actually warnings and premonitions. Fast forward 6 years later, I'm divorced, right? But I had a dream about that and I ignored it. So I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that spirit speaks to you in dreams and that some are warnings, some are premonitions. And everything that happened in that dream basically played out throughout that time. Everything, I had 3 dreams prior. Um, and I won't go into detail with those today, but one of them, showed me exactly who the person was. The other one showed me how things would play out and what was on their heart. And then the other one showed me about my faith. And so that's what's been playing out. It's like I was chained to the bed with the devil. And someone said they would take my place. And then I popped up to the surface. I was like, we were underground. He said, one of you got to stay here, me or a relative. And that relative said, I'll take your place. And I went up to the surface and I was wearing all white. And I got to be at the end of a line of people walking through the streets wearing all white in a single line, playing tabourines and singing spiritual songs. And a lady, a Black woman, she saw me come up from the cave underground and she said, it's all right, you with us now. It's like, so I saw my awakening happening when I broke the chains of that, the devil. I released my devil energy and came up to the light. And so I saw my awakening happening in a dream in my 20s. Fast forward, I'm 42 on 11/11/2024. I'll be 43. Today is November 2nd, 2024. So in about 9 days, I will be 43. And so the significance of that is I had that dream about 18 years ago when I was about 25. So God will show you your whole life. He will show you what you're dealing with. He will show you who's who. All you got to do is ask. All you got to do is ask. All you have to do is ask. And so I help people at the beginning of their spiritual awakening. So I don't get into quantum leaps, timelines, dimensions, all of those things. I help you where you are. And it is critical that we get you in a solid foundation of awareness and a good routine, rituals, and things like that to help you through this. A lot of journaling, meditation, prayer. I teach people about prayer. I teach people about meditation. I teach people about journaling. And everything that I teach is specific to that person because we're all going to have different gifts, right? We're all going to have a different purpose. The ultimate goal is to raise the vibration on this planet and to help all of mankind. There's very few of us called here to do it. We all know the story of Christ, and now we're another wave of the Christ coming back to this planet. And so I don't require anybody to be non-religious, non-this, non-that. But if you absolutely found me and you resonate with my teachings, the only thing that I ask for anybody that wants to work with me or needs my guidance is that it is a receptive environment where you're listening and we're not debating over religious beliefs. What do we call God? Because I always level set with people and tell them as a part of my awakening, I was shown different things. And so now my beliefs have evolved, right? About who God is and the energy that God gives and just even the name of God, the name of Christ, the name, what is Christ and all those things, Christ consciousness, Yahshua, Yahweh, and the divine feminine, things like that. And so it was an evolution for me. So I do not force my beliefs onto anyone, but I will give you some practical steps to get you through your awakening the same way that I did, because I was heavily indoctrinated. Like I had served at several different churches for like 5 and 6 years. So you couldn't tell me anything, but there came a point where I started to feel some things in my spirit just weren't being taught to me in a full truth. Like I wasn't feeling a full truth in a lot of the narratives that were being taught to me. And so that really led to my awakening. I started researching things and found a lot. So I understand that We all have our gateways to our spiritual ascension. We start from somewhere and we end up there, right? And so I'm just happy that the Most High brought me on this journey and that I'm able to share my gifts, wisdom, and knowledge and channel messages directly from the Holy Spirit for you specifically. Spirit will show me what you need and what your next step is. It's not a cookie cutter thing for everyone. So I'm not the rah rah life coach that's going to give everybody the same assignment. That's a lie. Everybody's going to have to read, meditate, and journal. Everybody has to. Now, how you do it is specific to you. Spirit will show me how you need to meditate, how you need to pray, how you need to journal. Everybody might do it differently, but everybody needs to talk to God, listen to God, and release what's on their mind. Everybody needs to do that, right? So the talk to God part, the prayer, how to pray, what to pray, um, that's specific to your journey. Things to open up your chakras. Like if your throat chakra's been blocked for years where you were told to be quiet, now's your time to open up and talk to God out loud. Bold prayers, bold faith. It's time to do that. If you were told that God doesn't talk to people, like people have told me that God doesn't talk to anybody, then now it's your time to learn how to meditate, get still, and hear the voice of God. You probably never did it because you never felt like God was going to talk to you, right? And so I teach people about different forms of meditation that may work for them, that will be most powerful and beneficial for them to hear God. I used to think that you had to sit Indian style on the floor and wait until you feel God. And I was like a 2-year-old. I couldn't sit still. I was like, I can't do this. Fall asleep. I don't hear nothing. My legs falling asleep. This isn't for me. I found that stretching, yoga, and we were taught that yoga was bad too because you're going to think you're God. You're going to think you hear God when you do yoga. That's why they told you it was bad. So you got to think about why you were taught certain things were bad. Why was having power? Why was listening to your higher self bad, because then you couldn't be controlled. You cannot be controlled when you're listening to your higher self. That's what's in control of your mind, your higher self, your spirit, which is in communication directly with the Holy Spirit. There is no middleman, right? If anything's a middleman, it's your mind. Your spirit is talking to the Holy Spirit and giving you downloads into your mind, and then your physical body is carrying out those actions accordingly, right? And so as a man thinketh, so is he. So you'll act according to what's on your mind, and your mind should be according to what's in your spirit, not what somebody else told you to do, right? We all need to govern ourselves accordingly. And that's when you get back into the word and realize all along that the kingdom of heaven is within, as Christ said, and there's nothing outside of you that you need to go seek. So meditation is powerful. It teaches you to go within, listen to your higher self, listen to God, and let your inner intuition lead you on this journey, because no one else knows the plan for you. I don't know the plan for you. I know how to get you to unlock that within yourself, because I had to unlock it within myself, right? And so that's the goal. Teach people how to go within and walk in their purpose. And you will never feel alone. You will never feel lost, because now you've got the secret weapon. You're talking to God directly. That's the secret weapon. You're not looking all around everywhere and not sure. And it's that time where you spend that nobody can take that away from you. Nobody can tell you didn't hear that. No one can tell you didn't see that. So a lot of things you're going to hear and see, you have to learn how to be quiet and keep it to yourself, and you'll see how God reveals to you the nature and the character and the spirit of other people around you. And so you'll feel like it's a lonely journey once you start to see their true character and you start to release people from your energy. Release them from your life, release places, release jobs, release everything that does not serve your purpose, and start to realize that you built a life based on a lie. So it's like your past life is everything before your awakening, and it was built on sand. In order to cross over into your higher self and walking in your purpose, you have to walk on a solid foundation, right? And so God is going to tear down that old life. When you have this spiritual awakening, you're going to think something's wrong. So many things are going to go away. So many people are going to go away. You probably lose your job. You'll probably be told to leave your job. You're going to feel like Job, like you've been stripped. And why am I being tested? You're not. You're being cleansed and purified to be this vessel that can receive the knowledge and wisdom and power of God to carry out this mission on earth. You're being stripped of everything that does not serve your purpose. And you will see that it wasn't something I needed. Now, in the process, you'll learn that I've been stripped of everybody around me. I don't have any more friends. I can only talk to God. And at some point, you'll come across me or someone like me who's spiritual, has gone through that process, and they can help you because they went through it. And we're telling you, like, oh, yeah, there's very few of us. We connect online. There's not a lot of us around each other in the same city, so we built this online spiritual community of people. I started meeting people on TikTok. I was 38 years old when I moved to Dallas and had my spiritual awakening. So this was like, oh my gosh, you'll never know who you are sitting in the same environment. Once you get away from it, everything's going to come out of you. So I was 38 when that happened. And so it's been quite a journey. But I was 2018 is when I cried out and I said, God, this isn't my life. And by 2020, that year I started coaching women, making videos. God gave me some specific instructions and I heard them loud and clear. And whenever I avoided them, it just kept reverberating in my mind. Like, you got to do it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do it. But I ended up doing it and it was beautiful. People were waiting on me. One of the ladies that God told me to coach, he told me to talk to these two moms at the bus stop when I dropped my son off in the morning in my old apartment complex in St. Louis County before I moved to Dallas. And I was avoiding it every day. It's like, they don't want to talk to me. They don't want to talk to me. And I talked to them and said, hey, I forget what I said to them, but they was like, yeah, we love to do that. We were just saying, we wish we had something like that. People are waiting on you to just show up in your full, authentic self and be you and shed your light on whatever they got going on. People are waiting on you. You have to walk in your purpose. It's tied to so many lives. And I just ran into one of those ladies tonight. And my condolences goes out to her family. She just lost her 13-year-old daughter to bullying. So that broke my heart. So you never know the lives you're going to touch. You never know like what spark you left in that person's life at that time that planted a seed that grew. Because me meeting with those women was absolutely giving them an opportunity to have a safe space where they could open up and talk about things that they didn't have a safe space to go talk about. And so my obedience and seeking God and wanting to walk in my purpose, it changed some lives. It affected some lives. I have a positive impact on people. And I remember one time she said, we could do anything if you leading us. I was like, people think that about me. You just don't know what God has for you because you just don't know what's in you yet. You just got to tap into it at some point and trust the process. Like, I got to give it a try. It cost me nothing. But staying the way I was going to cost me my sanity because I was losing my mind. Like, why is nothing working out? After the divorce, none of the relationships worked out. Nothing was working out at the job with promotions. Always an obstacle, parenting. I love my children, but I was frustrated being a single mom all those years. And it was like the stress from work. Now I got the kids by myself. And it's like every single thing they needed done, I had to do it myself. I had two sons. They're much older now. One's grown, one's a teenager, but I went through a lot of years of just strife before I finally got to my breaking point where I was ready. So God is just waiting on you to get ready to say, I want a different life. I want to know what else you got for me. What do you have besides this, God? And praying, I've learned that I don't just say a prayer in the morning or at night. Baby, I talk to God all day long. like a 3-year-old. What's this? Why is that? Can we go to the store? Can we get some ice cream? Can I have a nice dinner tonight? Whether the money's in the bank or not, it's like, can you do this for me? And it will show up. So when you get called to walk in your purpose and do what you're called to do, you don't get to turn off your gifts. You don't get to turn off God. You are 24/7. You're not PRN as needed. No, it's all the time. So welcome to your new life of purpose. It's crazy over here, but you're going to love it. And so I'm absolutely here to help. I am very people friendly. I love people. So just email me, or comment, or something like that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we'll wrap up on journaling. A lot of people have a hard time just in the initial phase of everything, getting to the point where they're willing to sit and write some stuff down. They're afraid of the thoughts coming out and actually facing them, but that releases everything. It also keeps you from venting to different people all day long. Your mind doesn't know if you told it to a therapist, your best friend, or some stranger on the street. It just knows it came out of your head. It lives outside of you now. It's not a burden that you're carrying. It has a life outside of you. It is not just weighing on you, right? And so whether you write it down, do a video journal, or paint a picture to describe what happened, your mind just know it released it. And that's ultimately what you need. And a lot of times I tell people, talk to themselves. That they feel like they can't talk to God a certain way. God hear everything you say. Every time you talk to another human being, you are talking to God. So if you're cursing, saying all these crazy things, God already heard you. So now you're talking to God like you're in a Catholic church confessing to a priest or something. No, you have a conversation, a dialogue with God. Like, hey, best friend, like if you have a really close relationship with your mom or your dad, that's how you talk to God. And so, God can hear everything else you said. So you see everything you're doing. Don't get scared now. Be honest. And that's how you're really going to break through. That's really how you're going to break through. Okay. So very simple, practical steps. Advanced level teachings come with advanced level faith. Okay. So very simple, very practical, very much so spiritually guided over here. I think I'll do another video about relationship coaching, but ultimately it all ties together. I'm a certified relationship coach. The relationship with yourself and your creator is the one that we work on first. We're not going to talk about no husband. We're not going to talk about no kids. We're not going to talk about no parents. We're going to talk about you. What is my relationship to myself? Because I bet you would, if you fix that one first, all the rest of them will fall in line. You will realize all the relationships outside of the one within you were imbalanced because you weren't balanced. It can only be a reflection of what's in you. Okay. So we get you balanced out on track and you have your set of morals and guidelines. And guess what? It's going to trickle down to every other relationship in your life. And it's like once everybody's put on notice, watch things change. They'll either go away or get in line and you will have peace. I guarantee it because it's peaceful over here. So, you guys, I love you and be great on purpose.